Hi everyone! Today we have an unboxing of the Traxxas TRX4m. This is a very recent release. It came out just before the holiday season. And I meant to pick it up back then, but financially I couldn't justify it at the time. But I finally managed to pick one of these up at my local hobby shop. He actually had a bunch of them in stock, so I picked one up. And I specifically wanted a blue one, and I managed to grab the last blue one that he had, so that was pretty cool. If you guys don't know about this thing somehow, this is a 1/18 scale trail truck scale rock crawler from Traxxas. It's supposed to kind of fit in somewhere between the SCX24 and like the 12 scale, 10 scale stuff. It's kind of like in between, bigger than those 24 scales, but smaller than the 10 scales, obviously. And I would say the biggest comparison that people could make is the RC 4-wheel drive Grande 2, because this is also a 1/18 scale vehicle, and it's also a Land Rover, though this one's not licensed. And you can see this is a D90, whereas the Traxxas version is more of a D10, which is the 4-door long wheelbase version. But kind of looking around the box real quick, you see they're blue, the different colors you can get it, and I believe these are the same colors you can get the 10 scale TRX4 Land Rover as well. Defender. This one, of course, unlike the RC 4-wheel drive, is fully licensed as a Defender, so that's cool. Chassis. The other colors you can get, and then at the bottom, the green down here. So let's get this thing opened up real quick. And it comes in that typical Traxxas packaging. It's very good. They pack their vehicles very well, but as always, I'm not a very big fan of the styrofoam, the use of styrofoam, because it's not the most eco-friendly thing to do. I much prefer the way like Horizon Hobby does it, where they just use like cardboard for everything, and their vehicles are packed in pretty well. So here we get your basic TQ transmitter, your battery pack, and unfortunately, like a lot of Traxxas stuff, this is a proprietary battery. So you can see it's a lithium battery, 2-cell LiPo, but it has a proprietary plug, and the charging is kind of built into this plug, so you can't really charge it with your regular charger. You have to use their proprietary Traxxas charger, or this USB thing that they include. So that is a little bit unfortunate. I will probably not use this battery for very long, and I'll probably end up soldering on some different plug, like a JST plug or an EC2 plug or something, to get that going. So let's get some of the boring stuff out of the way first. Some basic tools, like a lot of stuff, your warranty manuals, instruction manuals, stuff like that. You can check that out if you want. And the body is kind of wrapped in this almost like saran wrap, which is interesting. And it comes fully detailed. I don't believe it's painted though, it's just the molded plastic. Here we go. That looks very, very nice. I love the deep blue that this thing comes in. In some of the lighter colors, it does kind of look very plasticky, so I do prefer the darker colors for this, unless you plan on painting it. But it's very, very glossy, as you can see. And the detail on it is actually pretty good as well. A lot of these are decals, but they get the job done. All the same accessories and details that come on the 10 scale TRX4 Defender, so that's cool. So like the high lift jack, the rotor packs, the spare tire cover. It's not a real spare tire. Roof rack, the front like roll bar, windshield roll bar, snorkel, mirrors. Mirrors are hard, so In a hard enough rollover, these will probably break, but they do seem like they're decently flexible plastic, so hopefully they'll be durable. These fenders and the rock rail here are separate molded pieces, and they're molded in like a matte plastic, so that looks very nice. You can put like D-rings there if you want. Fake little winch. So there you go. Looks like 2 LEDs come in the front, and then maybe LEDs in the back as well. We'll have to see. But oh, and the tires are the Canyon Trail Traxxas tires, same as the 10 scale version. I believe the Bronco version of this comes with licensed tires, but this one does come with their Traxxas tires. No foams inside, doesn't feel like, but they are pretty sticky and pretty soft. So that's nice to see. The body comes off using these 2 little clips here. You just kind of push them and it pushes out, so no body clips, very easy to dismount. It does look like there's some light buckets in the body, so you can throw lights in it. Of course, clear windows, so you can throw an interior in as well. The servo is axle mounted, but in a very unique position, so kind of gives you that chassis mounted look without the bump steer you get with a lot of cheaper chassis mounted steering setups. So that's very cool. Chassis is metal. These end caps here are plastic though. I believe there is an attachment. Yeah, there's an attachment point here for your trailer hitch if you get the optional trailer. The drive shafts are plastic, but a very smooth and stiff plastic, so that should be nice. Drive shaft ends are like the universal type, so that's cool. I don't like the use of the rubber band to hold the pin in, but it is what it is. Belly is pretty flat. Motor, 180 motor. Their proprietary ESC, and you turn it on by plugging the battery in right there. Little strap with the rubber strap, so that should fit that pretty well. And it does not look like it comes with the double A's for the transmitter, like some of the Traxxas vehicles do. So you'll plug that in right there. So let's get this plugged in and kind of give it a quick little test. So getting this thing plugged in. Hopefully the battery has some charge left in it. Looks like we only get the front LEDs, but that's still nice. And we get something. And then the body just slides right on, super easy, nice and tight. That's a really ingenious system. That's actually very, very nice. And then the shocks are also oil filled, which is unusual for this scale of vehicle. And they do seem like they're damped decently. Yeah, it doesn't like bounce a lot like a lot of mini crawlers do. Very, very smooth. It is a little bit quick out of the box, because out of the box it is set up for trail driving. So you can get the optional low speed gears, or you can buy the low speed transmission, which comes fully assembled. This one, if you don't mind tinkering a little bit, I'd recommend just getting this. It's much, much cheaper, and you can just swap in the gears and it'll be the same thing. But that stock transmission sounds very smooth. It's very quiet. Servo seems very responsive as well. Let's see how this thing does over some basic obstacles. So let's see how this thing does on a little bit of a it's a very steep incline. It went over that very smoothly, but as you can see, because especially with the Defender body style, it is a little bit back heavy. So if you give it any sort of gusto, it will flip back. But if you give it some throttle control, as you saw, it will make it up all the way. Well, maybe not all the way. But that is still pretty impressive for having a hard body, and especially with the Defender body style, with all those accessories on it. I think it climbs better than a lot of like stock RC Defenders do. So I'm pretty impressed at that. And also you can see the approach angle is pretty good. I don't have to angle it anyway, I can just come on straight. The bumper doesn't scrape, departure angle is also pretty good, so the rear bumper doesn't catch on the carpet going up. So that's very good to see. The drag brake also seems like it's very good as well. Nice slow descent, and then you can give it a little bit of the throttle to keep it from rolling back all the way. It's nice and controllable, that's very nice to see. Tires are also very, very grippy, especially for stock tires. So very happy with that as well. And with a little bit of like adding weights to the wheels or the axles or something, you can easily fix that rollover, like the rollback issue. That's really not a very hard issue to fix. Let's take it on some other obstacles. So let's see if it makes it up these blankets. And I like to test the mini crawlers indoors, because a lot of people end up getting these mini crawlers for their kids, especially in the winter when it's kind of gross outside, especially if you live somewhere with snow. So it's nice to see like what kind of fun you can have with these little crawlers indoors. And of course, when the weather is better out, you can always take out the 10 skill stuff. Also, crawling over pillows and blankets like this offer kind of a different sort of challenge, because the terrain of course moves around a lot. Oh, very close. One thing I can feel going up these blankets though, I'm gonna start here, is I can feel that the motor is kind of struggling a little bit on some of these like really tough stuff, just because the gearing is a little bit high. So I think definitely with that low speed gear, it may do a little bit better. So I managed to get up that. Let's see if I'll be able to get up on this top bit here. So for first impressions, I'm actually very, very happy with it. I think Traxxas honestly did a very good job with this. The quality of the vehicle seems pretty decent from first look. The detail is pretty decent as well. Some of them are stickers, but it does still look pretty good. All the accessories are pretty cool. The light buckets are cool. Tires are actually pretty decent tires out of the box, so that's nice as well. The chassis design is also very, very innovative, and I'm actually very impressed with the way they designed it. It actually fixes a lot of issues that a lot of people have with mini crawlers. especially if you want to do a hard body. Mounting a hard body is always difficult because you don't want to really drill holes in your body. Not having body posts really helps with performance. The oil shocks are very unique in this segment. I think the Panda Hobby 18 scales come with oil shocks, but they're very ugly, big oil shocks, and I don't believe they work very well from what I've seen. The servo placement's interesting and seems to work pretty well. Overall, I think it's a very good package, and it also seems like it's a pretty good value as well, because I believe I paid around 150 bucks for this thing, which for its competitors, it's a very aggressive price point. Usually Traxxas stuff is known to be a little bit on the more expensive side, but somehow they got a very good value proposition here, especially against a lot of its competitors. Even like the 24th scale stuff comes very close to 150, especially if you get like the SCX24 Bronco or Gladiator. Those go about $150. The Kyosho Mini Z 4x4s are much smaller and more expensive at around $270 to $200 depending on when you get it and where you get it. And then of course the RC 4-wheel drive Galande 2 is much more expensive at around $200 to $250 depending on where you get it as well. So at 150 bucks, I think that's a pretty good value. You get a very good chassis, very good looking body, that can be detailed up more if you want, or you can just leave it stock. I'm actually very happy with this, and very happy that Traxxas has released this. A lot of mini stuff seems to be coming out recently, and I'm very happy with that, because mini RCs are a lot of fun, especially in the winter when you're stuck indoors, or if you live in an apartment or something and you have very limited space for RCs. These mini cars can give you a lot of enjoyment. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it informative or entertaining, and as always, have fun with RC, and I'll see you guys next time.